you doing, sir?
Hey, good, Captain.
Good.
All right.
Gotta pay them tickets, huh?
Yeah.
A county jail is built to keep people in.
Sir.
Locked doors, controlled movement, clear boundaries between the people inside and the community outside. But in Midland County, Sheriff David Criner is also trying to make the jail a place where people can prepare for what happens when they get out.
I want to make sure that these people, they're just not let out the front door and no place to go. Nobody to mentor them. But we want to provide that so they don't come back into the system anymore.
Hello and welcome to Texas County Voice. I'm Jody Sebring with the Texas Association of Counties. This episode of Texas County Voice, part of the Texas Association of Counties' ongoing Texas County Storytellers campaign, looks at a program in Midland County called Pathways to Hope, which stands for Helping Offenders Pursue Excellence. Sheriff Criner brought Pathways to Hope to his jail after hearing praise about the program from colleagues in Tarrant and Rockwall counties. The voluntary program, which is paid for by commissary funds at no cost to taxpayers, gives inmates 5 days, 40 hours of lessons on everything from decision-making and accountability to finances, relationships, mental health, and employment. And it doesn't end at graduation. The goal is to give people mentors and resources for the first 18 months after they graduate. Sheriff Criner has been in law enforcement since 1981. He's been Midland County Sheriff since 2020 and is currently first vice president of the Sheriff's Association of Texas. Governor Greg Abbott appointed him to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement in March. Midland County is also building a new jail, one that will be completed later this year and open in early 2027. But Sheriff Criner says the most important thing about a jail may be what happens after someone walks out the door. He says he first heard about Pathways to Hope from Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Wayburn after seeing a graduation on social media.
So I was looking at our Facebook page, the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, and I saw a post by Bill Wayburn, Tarrant County Sheriff. And he and I are mutual friends. We go way back. And he's holding a graduation for that. And I said, "What is this, Bill?" And he told me the story about it. And I said, "Well, I'm going to look into that."
Sheriff Criner also talked with Rockwall County Sheriff Terry Garrett. Both told him the program could make a difference. So he brought it to Midland. When we talked with Sheriff Criner in May, the Midland County Jail had recently graduated its second class in the Pathways program.
And so we got a relationship going with Pathways to Help on the recommendation of Terry and Bill, because I trust those guys. And they said, "David, it's the best thing ever for these individuals when they get released from jail." So we started that. We've had 2 schools graduate already. It's only as successful as the inmates want it to be.
That last part is central. The program is voluntary. Inmates have to decide they want to participate. And Sheriff Criner says that's because real change can't be forced.
If you try to make them come, they'll either not say, "I can hear you, but I'm not listening to a word you all are saying."
Tom Cruz and Ian Fuhrer are part of the Pathways team. Cruz directs the program. Fuhrer is president and CEO of One Community USA, Pathways' parent nonprofit. They work to bring Pathways to Hope into county jails and build the community partnerships that support it. Cruz says the program starts with a basic question: what's underneath the behavior that brought someone to jail?
So the focus is it's turned into really getting them to understand why they're in a facility. And so what we do in this program is we kind of get them to go backwards, not just hey, stop doing drugs, don't drink, don't have anger issues. Go deeper than that. Why are you doing those things? What is the root cause of that?
There are lessons on finances, jobs, family, relationships, emotional intelligence, mental health and mentorship, and community members come into the classroom to teach. The idea is to connect people inside the jail with people and resources they'll encounter outside.
We could just do the 40-hour class and just teach it like a class and say, "Here you go, take it or leave it." But my team is very personable in the way we do stuff. So that's why we go in every other week, because I want them to get to know me. I want them to get to know why I do what I do. I want them to get to know my story. Same with the rest of my team. We all got stories, and we want them to connect with us so that when they do go through the 40 hours, that they're understanding what they're getting from us.
Those personal stories are a big part of the program. Cruz's story, in particular, is central to the way he teaches. In 2010, while serving as an interrogator in the U.S. Army, Cruz threatened to take his own life and the life of his fiancée, whom he held hostage for 7 hours. His fiancée ultimately talked him down and stuck by Cruz. They married and today have a teenage son. Afterward, Cruz says, he had to decide what to do with what happened.
I held her hostage and was going to kill the both of us. And I don't remember much of it. And the parts I do remember are not good. There was a lot of people that tried to get a hold of me, talk to me, and everything was just making me angry. The police were going to storm my house, all that. The only reason I'm alive today was her ability to talk me down from the situation, talk to police and do everything else and just listen to what was going on. And instead of responding, she just listened and then reacted to how I was doing, not the people that were talking. And so the only reason I'm alive and she's alive was her ability to talk me down and us out of that situation.
Cruz eventually returned to the military, keeping his security clearance, and served for another decade. But he says the turning point was taking responsibility for his own action.
And I took accountability. What part did I have in this? Why did I do this? Why am I built this way? And I started going back to why did I get to that point, right?
That experience informs the way Cruz talks to people in jail. Accountability, he says, has to come from the person who wants to change.
Until you want to change, until you want this differently, not that your mom wants it, not your dad, not the judge, not probation, not your spouse or your mom, the mother of your children, until you want this change, there's nothing anybody can do for you. Nothing. We can lead you to water, we can lead you to resources, but they've got to take the personal accountability.
That distinction between forcing change and helping someone choose it is also important to Sheriff Criner. He says one reason the program works is that participants hear from people who have lived through similar experiences.
It's easy to tell them that when they hear from their peers, people that have gone through I talk about empathy and sympathy quite a bit. Empathy is a big thing. Hey, I've been there, I know what you're going through, and I can help you through that situation. Or I can tell them what they need to do, but I did say, well, you don't even walk to my shoes. I appreciate the concern and the advice, but you don't know where I've been. But these guys know where they've been. They say, look, I've been down that road before.
For Sheriff Criner, that's part of a larger philosophy about his relationship with inmates.
Goal is, to let them know that, yes, I'm in law enforcement, but you know what? I care about you. I want to see you succeed.
He says the goal isn't simply to get people through the class. It's to keep them from coming back.
I want to make sure that these people, they're just not let out the front door and no place to go. Nobody to mentor them. But we want to provide that so, like I said, so they don't come back into the system anymore.
One of those mentors is Tim McAfee. And when he teaches the lesson on changing thinking and changing habits, he's speaking from experience.
I have been teaching now for 2 years. I teach lesson 5, changing thinking and changing habits. I'm kind of the poster child for that.
McAfee spent years in active meth addiction. He used intravenously and had repeated run-ins with the law and prison. He got out of Tarrant County Jail in October 2022, and he says one thing Cruz told him became his aha moment.
And when Tom said you have to change the way you're thinking, that was my aha moment, because it's like I've been thinking about the wrong things for so long that it felt normal to me. So when I started challenging and questioning what I was thinking, that aha moment for me was like when Tom said, you have to change the way you're thinking. If you don't, you're going to stay stuck in the same pattern. So I put myself as the poster child for that lesson, because what Tom taught me really, when I put it in play, really happened. Going from one extreme to using drugs every day to having to have this chemical to paying a mortgage is a really big step for me.
And now he's helping other people make that same transition.
I'm still actively a mentor in the program, because everything that these guys are going to go through upon release are hurdles and setbacks that we've endured since we've been out. So we can lead them the right way.
That word, mentor, is important because graduation isn't the end of Pathways. Participants can choose to continue the program for 18 months after graduation. Tom Cruise says the first couple of weeks after graduation are especially important.
What we do as far as the graduate, in between that cycle, we make sure we still meet up with them. We'll go out to the pods. The class will, for the first 2 weeks after graduation, we'll have the graduates come back in. We'll check how they're doing, check the pulse. The wedding is over now, so the honeymoon's over. So what are you guys doing with it now? How's it going? Then we start weaning them off, and we bring in the fresh new class.
The idea is to provide support without taking responsibility away from the person who has to make the decisions.
We give them enough leash to run with, but when they need it, we will pull it back to go, hey, you're not going down the right path. Let's get back on the right road.
Ian Fuhr says Midland is somewhat different from other communities where Pathways operates because many Midland participants already have jobs, homes, and transportation because of the oil-filled economy. So the program is working to tailor the support around addiction and other needs.
Most of the folks that we work with are involved in the oil field business. They have jobs, they have homes, they have transportation, they generally have ID. There, it's more focused on addiction issues primarily. So what Tom and I have been, and the team have been building is not only what resources can we bring, but how do we customize it for that particular population.
Midland's program has continued to grow. In July, the county graduated its first cohort of female inmates through Pathways to Hope. That expansion matters because the program operates separately for men and women, and Sheriff Criner says he wanted the opportunity available across the jail.
It's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for us. It's a win-win for the individuals that are incarcerated. It's a win-win for their families, and it's a win-win for the society.
Ian Fuhr says the effects of incarceration reach far beyond the people behind the walls.
What we've learned, though, is that approximately a third of the U.S. population has either been incarcerated or has a direct family member that's been incarcerated. Right? So that's roughly 110 million people in this country that these issues matter to.
And that's why he sees reentry as a public safety issue. If someone leaves jail and can't get a job, find housing, get transportation, or reconnect with the community, those obstacles can push them back toward the same behaviors that got them jailed in the first place.
We can explain to them, but if someone comes out of jail and they want to do better, they want to have a different path forward, and we as a society don't allow them to because they don't have ID, they can't get a place to live, they can't get a job, they can't get a car, eventually those impediments become so overwhelming they have no choice but to go back to the same people, places, and behaviors that got them there to begin with.
Pathways' underlying goal is clear. Make it more likely that someone who leaves jail can build a different life, and Sheriff Criner sees that as part of his job. That goal takes on another dimension in Midland County, where a new jail is being built. Sheriff Criner says the current facility handles roughly 400 to 450 inmates on an average day. The new jail will have capacity for 750.
So we have about 250 employees, 90 commissioned, about 120 jailers, and the rest are admin support personnel. We teeter between 400 and 450 inmates on a daily basis. Our capacity is 500. Our new jail holds 750, and it will be completed in November of this year, but we're not going to move into it until March because we want to make sure everything's good.
There's a practical need for a secure, modern jail, but Sheriff Criner's vision for the people inside it is about more than security. He wants them to leave better equipped for life outside. Sheriff Criner says he tells inmates something simple.
If you're in the Midland County facility, I don't want you to come back. I want you to be a better person and do the right thing, like you're raised to be, because you are somebody. Don't ever forget that.
That may be the most important message behind Pathways to Hope. Not that incarceration doesn't matter, not that people shouldn't be held accountable, but that accountability can include helping someone build a life that makes another trip through the jail less likely. And the people delivering that message have lived it themselves. Tim McAfee is one example.
I'm not going to be, beating around the bush and telling you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you cold, hard truth. It's hard.
Tom Cruise has a simple challenge for anyone skeptical of the program. Don't judge it from the outside. Come see what happens inside the classroom.
So a lot of people believe that these guys are in the facility because of the crimes they've done, right? That's why a lot of us believe they're in there. But that's not really why they're in the facility. They're in the facility because of things that they haven't been able to control. Their mindset, the way they were raised, how they were built, basically, how I put it. I would just say, show up on Monday and then show up on Friday. See the big difference just in that 1 week of these guys. That would be my thing, and I challenge you to come inside and see that. Come teach a class. Come talk to these guys.
Monday to Friday, 5 days, 40 hours, a chance to ask what went wrong and what might go right next. Sheriff Criner says he doesn't want to see the people who graduate from Pathways back in his jail, unless they're coming back for another reason.
I don't want to see you back in our facility. I'm telling us, I don't want to see you back in the walls of the Midland County Sheriff's Office unless you're coming to visit me, because we want to make sure that you're productive out there.
This episode is part of the Texas Association of Counties Texas County Storytellers campaign, which highlights the people, partnerships, and ideas making a difference in counties across Texas. To learn more about Texas County Storytellers, visit county.org/storytellers. For Texas County Voice, I am Jody Seaburn. See you next time.